Most people think making partner at a law firm is the goal, the finish line, the moment everything finally clicks into place, the point where all the late nights, all the pressure, all the sacrifice finally pays off. But here's what almost nobody in the legal world tells you, and once you hear this, you won't be able to unsee it. The higher lawyers climb, the worse their lives often get. Not better, not easier, not more free, worse. And by the time most people realize it, they're already locked in so deep that walking away feels impossible. So if you're thinking about law school, or you're already inside the system, quietly asking yourself, is this really worth it? You need to see the full picture, not the polished version, not the version they show you during recruitment dinners, not the one everyone posts about on LinkedIn, the real one, level by level. Because once you truly understand how this system works, you stop chasing blindly and you start thinking strategically. Let's start at the beginning. The summer associate. On the surface, it feels unreal. Everything is taken care of. Expensive dinners, private events, paid trips, interesting, manageable work that actually makes you feel smart. You're surrounded by successful people who treat you like you already belong. Law students often say it's one of the best experiences of their lives. And that's not an accident. That's the design. Because what you're experiencing isn't the job, it's the audition. The firm is showing you the absolute best version of itself, a carefully curated experience designed to impress you, because they need you to say yes. And the moment you do, the moment you sign that full-time offer, everything changes, subtly at first. Then, all at once, the tone shifts, the expectations rise, the pressure begins, the curtain drops, and this is where it gets real. Year 1, 2, 3. Junior associate. You did everything right. Top grades, elite law school, passed the bar, landed the offer. On paper, you've already won. And now, you're reviewing documents, thousands of them, page after page, scrolling, highlighting, tagging over and over again, with almost no context, no real understanding of the bigger picture, no clear connection to impact, just repetition, endless repetition. One senior associate described this phase as the humiliation of menial labor. Highly educated lawyers, people who spent years mastering complex legal theory, now spending hours fixing commas, organizing folders, renaming files, double-checking citations. Work that feels far below their capability. But here's what really breaks people. It's not just the work, it's the loss of control. You don't own your time anymore. You wait all day for feedback on something you worked on until midnight. You keep checking your email, refreshing, waiting. It finally comes back at 9 p.m. Now your night is gone. You're expected to turn it around by morning. And you do it, not because you want to, but because you have no choice. One associate described her routine like this: wake up early, get to the office before everyone else, respond to overnight emails, work through lunch, stay late, go home, and keep working until she falls asleep with her laptop open. And here's the part that doesn't get talked about enough. You're getting paid a lot. $190K, $200K, even more with bonuses. It sounds incredible, life-changing money. But when you break it down, the illusion starts to fade. To hit 1,800 billable hours, you're not working 1,800 hours, you're working closer to 2,400. Because emails don't count, meetings don't count, training doesn't count, even basic human things don't count. And suddenly, that high salary doesn't feel as impressive as it looked from the outside. But here's where things start to shift. And this is where it gets interesting. Mid-level associate. Years 4, 5, 6. This is where it gets dangerous. Because now you're no longer just doing the work. You're managing it. You're overseeing junior associates, answering their questions, fixing their mistakes, handling client communication, drafting more complex documents. And at the exact same time, you're being quietly evaluated for partnership. Every move matters. Every mistake counts. Pressure from below, pressure from above, pressure from yourself, and still no real control. You can't set timelines. You can't push back. You can't say no. You're expected to deliver, no matter what it takes. Researchers call this the responsibility squeeze, and this is where things quietly start to break. Because now, the stress isn't just physical, it's mental. Constant anxiety, constant pressure, constant feeling that you're one step behind. Burnout doesn't hit suddenly. It builds, slowly, silently, until one day, you realize you're exhausted all the time. And here's the twist most people don't expect. This stage is often worse than being a junior, not because the work is harder, but because now you understand the system. You see what's ahead, you see the trade-offs, and still you keep going. Because you're close, so close. Partner feels within reach, and you've been told your whole career, that's when everything changes, but here's the catch. It doesn't. Senior associate. Years 5 through 8. Now the pressure becomes precise, calculated. Every hour you bill is being watched. Every project you touch is being evaluated, not just for quality, but for your future. Are you worth keeping, or are you replaceable? This is the upper out phase, and it rarely happens in a dramatic way. It starts quietly. A conversation about your long-term goals, a suggestion that you explore other opportunities, a subtle shift in tone. Then it becomes clear. There's no future for you here. And if you don't leave on your own, the system will slowly push you out. At the same time, you're expected to build your business case. You have to prove you deserve partnership. Bring in clients, show revenue potential, demonstrate that you can grow the firm. You're no longer just a lawyer. You're a business. You're a brand. You're a salesperson. And here's the problem. Nobody really trained you for that. And here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Partnership isn't just about skill. It's about timing. It's about politics. It's about internal relationships. It's about whether there's even space available. You can do everything right and still not make it, which means years of sacrifice don't guarantee the outcome you were promised. And now we reach the part everyone thinks is the reward. Partnership. The title. The status. The moment that was supposed to make everything worth it. But here's what actually happens. First, money. You don't just get paid more. You pay to get in hundreds of thousands, sometimes over $1 million. Most new partners don't have that sitting around. So they take loans, large ones. Now you've made it to the top, and you're in debt. At the same time, your income becomes less predictable. A large portion is now tied to performance, to the firm's results, to factors you don't fully control. And for the first time in years, you feel financial pressure again. But here's what nobody prepares you for. The work doesn't slow down. It expands. Now you're responsible for everything. Legal work, client relationships, team management, business development, internal politics. And those clients? They don't operate on your schedule. They don't respect weekends. They don't wait for Monday. If something goes wrong, you're on call. Always. And here's the real shift. Now you're responsible for other people's livelihoods. If you lose a major client, it doesn't just affect you. It affects your team, their work, their income, their future. That kind of pressure is different, and it never really turns off. So why does anyone stay? Because by this point, leaving is complicated. You've built your life around this income. Your lifestyle has adapted. Mortgage, expenses, expectations. What used to feel like a bonus now feels like a necessity. And walking away feels like losing progress, like wasting years. This is what people call the golden handcuffs. You're earning well, but you're not free. And the longer you stay, the tighter those handcuffs become. Now here's the question that actually matters. Why is it built this way? Because it works. The system depends on it. A pyramid structure. A large base of junior associates doing the bulk of the work. A narrowing path upward. A small percentage making it to the top. Everyone else rotating out. It's not broken. It's optimized. And once you see that clearly, everything starts to make sense. So what does this mean for you? If you're just starting, go in with open eyes. The money is real. The opportunity is real. But so is the cost. If you're in the middle, feeling pressure, doubt, exhaustion, understand this. It's not just you. It's the structure. And recognizing that gives you power. And if you've already made it to the top and something still feels off, you're not alone. Not even close. Because the system always promises the same thing, that the next level will be better, that more money will fix it, that more status will fix it, that more control will fix it. But the higher you go, the clearer it becomes. It doesn't. And once you see that, you have a choice to make. If you want to understand how this system really controls your time, your income, and your decisions, watch the next video.